Good day, everyone. I am Ira Quizo, your lecturer. Today, we're talking about sociological theory on education philosophy or social theory. Let's begin. Theories in sociology provide us with different perspectives with which to view our social world. A perspective is simply a way of looking at the world. Sociological theories help us to explain and predict the social world in which we live. So it means that sociology views the different perspectives to show the social world. And sociology is one of the important to explain the social world in which we live and function to our society. So why I talk about sociology since I will be discussing today about the sociological theory on education philosophy. Sociology includes three major theoretical perspectives. First, the functionalist perspective. Second, the conflict perspective. And the third one, the symbolic interactionist perspective. So since I am the first reporter, I'll be discussing or lecture about the functionalist perspective and the conflict perspective and will be continued to Salmira Sipon. So before we go on to the functionalist perspective, let us know first the proponent of Herbert Spencer. So Herbert Spencer was the proponent of instructional functional view society as a system of interconnected parts, each with a unique function. The parts have to work together for stability and balance of society. Herbert Spencer argued that society as an interconnected system, each part having a unique function while still working together to the society. For example, for Herbert Spencer proponent na di wala kay gana mo kaon or di ka ganahan mo kaon, dili lang ang imuhang system or body part sa imong lawas ang maepektuhan, but also yourself. So, in reality, you need to show yourself or ourselves that we are working to our society because each of us, we have a unique function to our society. So let's move to functionalism. So functionalism is a sociological perspective that views society as a complex system whose parts work together to promote stability and solidarity. According to this theory, each part of society has a specific function that contribute to overall stability and survival of the society. And this line means that functionalism views society as a system whose parts work together to promote stability and balance of society, has a specific function. So now let's move on to the structural functional theory in education. This theory has implications for education in that views education as a social institution that serves a specific function in society. In instructional functional theory in education, not only the family, religion, politics has a specific function to our society, but education has more specific function to our society. Because the education has more a big role to our society para mo work ato ang society. Education is seen as a means of socializing individuals in transmitting the norms, values, and beliefs of society to future generation. According to instructional functional theory, education is also served the function of preparing individuals for their future roles in society. So as we are a new generation to our society, we're transmitting our norms, values, and beliefs to the future society. Like what I've said, we're a new generation to our society. We're preparing also ourselves to the future rules in the society. That includes develop our skills, knowledge, attitudes to what we choose in path in our life. And we will be success to our chosen profession. So there are four purposes of schooling according to functionalism. First, the intellectual purpose. So under the intellectual purpose, school should develop and mold students the cognitive skills and inquiry skills. Political purpose. So it means that citizens have to be inculcated with patriotism in society. Peace and order has to be maintained and all the people expected to adhere and conformity the laws of the society. Third, the economic purposes. So it means that students are being prepared for the prospective jobs, for the future roles in the society. Like us, we're being trained and develop our skills. Someday we will be earning income or having a jobs. Social purpose. So it promotes sense of social and moral responsibility. So now we're in the conflict theory or the conflict perspective. So the functionalist perspective views society as a composed of different parts working together. In contrast, the conflict perspective views society as composed of different group interests and competing for power and resources. So it means that in functionalism views that within the society have a perspective and working together, while the conflict theory views that within the society have a perspective of competing in power and resources. The conflict perspective explains various aspects of social world by looking at which group having a power and benefit from particular social agreement. This perspective highlights the role of power dynamics and social inequalities in shaping social relationships and institutions. So one of the example of conflict theory is like political issues. Like within the society, manira na lang ka og tawo, siraan ang kalaban para lang magka-image or having a power. And also paliton ang vote sa tawo or being a bias. So that is one of the example of conflict theory or conflict perspective. Emphasizes that social change and progress occur as a result of conflict between different groups rather than through consensus or cooperation. So as I understand the conflict theory views crime and result inequality between different groups in society. Conflict theory or perspective arises due to resources and desires functionalists in society. They choose to maintain wealthy and powerful rather than to stability and solidarity to the society. And conflict theory will be continued to discuss sa Mirasipon. And thank you for watching or listening my presentation. I hope you can get useful knowledge from my presentation.